Advised, mature content ahead. This podcast is brought to you ad-free thanks to the Legion of Demons at patreon.com/NOTLP. If you like what you hear, there's much more at patreon.com/NOTLP. Join the Legion. That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And now the show.
How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
So I'm home alone.
Yeah, you look like you heard something.
Well, Alise just got home just now, but a few moments ago when you saw my face.
Are you sure it's Alise or is it the Wet Bandits?
It's. I think she. Well, I don't know that she isn't the Wet Bandit. If you know what I mean. Yeah. She's definitely one of those things. So I'll let you figure it out. But a few moments ago, I just heard this. I've got the headphones on for the listeners who can't see me, which is all of them. And I hope. And I just hear this sound.
Jesus.
So I took my head, because the dogs, it was the muffled sound. The dogs were playing on the bed.
Yes.
And so they were just like, rawr, rawr, rawr.
They're playing didgeridoos on the bed.
They were playing didgeridoos, which is the rawr, rawr, rawr sound that was being made. And I'm sorry, what I mean is didgeridoos. And they that's what was happening. So it's all good.
You say, do you tell the dogs that it startled you that for the future that's a didgeridoo?
Well, it's going up on the whiteboard now.
Hey, cut it out.
That's a didgeridoo.
I spent a lot of time home alone in my life because I was an only child, and I would get scared all the time. All the time. When I was a kid, I couldn't stand in the in the shower. I had to stand like diagonal, so I could also see if somebody was going to come in and try to kill me.
How does one stand diagonally
in the shower? Because I couldn't have my back to the curtain.
Oh, okay. I see.
Amy was shampooing a terrifying
because you have to close your eyes for all that time.
Because you have to close your eyes.
This is the beginning of OCD.
Yeah.
Well, and then I couldn't sleep with my back to the door in my bed. I had to always, so I would like move my pillow to the bottom, the top didn't matter, so I could always face and be comfortable. So I'm a side sleeper. And I was just thinking, watching Kelley have his little freak out, that I'm not as afraid when I'm alone. Well, I'm very rarely home alone.
Yeah.
Would you please just leave?
When you have dogs, it also helps.
It helps.
If you heard a sound like...
Except for when they do that.
And you weren't expecting it.
Like,
I'm just not as...
You up for playing some world music?
I'm not as freaked out by that the way I was.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's progress. I'm glad to hear it.
I'm going to be...
Remember after
okay one day.
How do you stand in the shower now? Just
whatever way
straight
I
up and
need
down?
to.
Whatever way she needs.
After we saw Scream in the theater...
We've told this story 1,000
times. I know.
times.
Just in case you have never heard this story, I had to go back to Amy's house after because...
Well, I called the cops, too. I was 16. I was home alone because my mom was out of town, and I thought somebody was breaking into the house. Nobody was.
That sounds like the lyric. It sounds like the whole first verse to like a Stacy's Mom kind of song.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway,
these sausages are repeating.
Oh, here we go.
I knew he was gonna bring up the goddamn sausages.
Freddie has not.
Irish garlic sausages, yum.
When we were just chit-chatting before we started recording, Freddie brought up the sausages 3, 4, 6 times.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, I'm a big old fatty, too, and I love talking about food, but this was an extensive amount of
they were good,
talking about a food.
That should tell you something.
They were garlic.
And now they're inside of me.
Well, I have to make a grocery trip tomorrow, so maybe I'll pick them up.
Keep your eyes peeled for them.
I'll report back to you.
What was the brand?
I think it was Johnsonville, but I can't.
There you
I shouldn't
go,
be quoted
everybody.
on that.
Don't quote him, though.
Irish garlic sausages.
With a lot of sauerkraut on it and,
mustard. Big old hoagie roll.
A lot of farting.
Were they full of potatoes? Potatoes?
I don't know. There could be. I have no idea what's in them. I assume Irish lips and assholes. and a clove of garlic.
With a touch of melancholy.
Yeah.
So I can hear Elsa losing her mind outside, and then she was just losing her mind in the living room, which has got to be related to the current house fire in my neighborhood.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that yet, did we?
No.
Our neighbor's house is currently on fire.
Somebody's house on the street behind us. I don't know. Or the street to the side of us. I don't know. All I know is there is a house fire. There are tons of fire trucks and police, and Elsa's losing her mind. I think it might be the house. Does anybody remember when I was telling the story about the competing hangout?
The hot tub house.
The hot tub house that felt like they were trying to compete with the noises we were making in our backyard with their louder Ariana Grande. What else? There was the Pitch Perfect soundtrack they used to play really loud.
Now they've decided to just burn the place down.
I think it's just burning down.
And the constant giggling and splashing.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
But hey, they're having fun.
We have no idea to this day what any of those, because that was right after we put up the privacy fence.
Yeah, I don't know what they look like.
So they were just sounds to us. Do you want to make sure that our neighborhood's not on fire? You want to peek out the window? I think we're okay. Judging from the lack of excitement.
I think it's okay, everybody. I don't think we're going to die. I don't think we're going to die in the house.
I think all right.
How are you, Kelley?
Swell. Are you alluding to my eye poke? Is that?
Yeah, can we talk about this? Because I am so horrified and so proud of you.
Well, and one of our Zach Tadashi. I don't know. I don't want to say things about people that maybe they don't want publicly known. So understand, sir. That's the only reason I'm not bringing it up.
Oh, was he there?
No, no. He genuinely wasn't. But I just, I'm not trying to put his beeswax out. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm thinking about you.
You said I because he went to the eye doctor.
But that's why it's a privacy. It's hip.
It's hip.
Anyway, so
Kelley, your license is going to be up for review.
I had to get an Avastin injection in the old peeper.
That is not like the skin around it, like directly into your eyeball, right?
Directly into the old ball.
Could you see the needle? Could you see the needle coming toward your eyeball?
No.
Do they call it a vast because of the number of people they turn to pirates with it?
Yes.
That makes sense. At first, I was like, that's an awful piratey name for a medicine. And then they took your eye.
They didn't take it.
They almost took it. They poked it.
And they did poke it. And that's what it felt. I was telling the crew, the Motley crew, that it felt like just kind of getting poked in the eye.
Have you ever worn contacts at all?
I'm wearing them right now.
I
don't know if you do or you don't. Oh, look, you got some eye drops. Thanks, Alise. He needs those.
She brought him a big box of eye drops, and they're Paw Patrol.
The only reason I ask is I've always been afraid of contacts because I don't want to poke my eye, touch my eye, have something.
You couldn't even watch the show.
Can't even watch it. Contacts? What show?
3, 2, 1, Contact.
Contact.
Oh, I'm like, there's a movie Contact.
There's.
You couldn't even watch Star Trek First Contact.
There we go.
So yes, I wear contacts, and I poke my eye all the time. And
so
I mean, it wasn't comfy. I didn't love it. They also numb your eye up with drops. They drop your eye up with numbs, and then they poke you, and it's quick and fast. And then it's like this weird twirly stuff in my eye, and like it looks like little dots and moving balls for a while. And then your eye looks like it's got a big old black dot on it, and then it goes away.
Do they play incense and peppermints for you when you're in that first part?
I'm going to request it next time.
Is that even the name of that song? I don't even know.
That is the name of that song.
Okay.
Incense and peppermints.
Yeah.
There are very few things more horrifying to me. Like body horror stuff, it's the eyeball. Stay away from the eyeball.
The eyeball.
If somebody came, like, did you have a moment where they like, oh, we're going to go get the Avastin, we'll be right back, and you had to be in the room by yourself for a second? Like, I could run.
I did. I don't have. I'm not. There are a lot of things.
I'm a pussy, I guess, but
I've had a lot of things done to me, and
I get it, Kelley.
I'm not trying to say I'm not ever scared or nervous or any of that stuff. I definitely am when, like, I was about my colonoscopy. I was nervous about this, but I figured, I don't know.
Ooh,
it seems I've had eye surgery. I've had one of my eyes out of the socket, like, for the surgery.
They let you hold it?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We had a catch.
Somebody took it out of that socket?
I think it popped it out.
And then they put it back in?
Yeah.
Did your eye feel weird after?
Yeah, they put it back in.
Yeah, forever after. I can't read numbers or letters really to this day because I have a little band around my right eyeball called a scleral buckle, and it held my retina together so it could heal, and I might be less blind.
That is pretty metal.
That is so fucking metal.
Yeah.
So is your eyeball more prone to falling out of the socket now that it's been out already?
Yeah.
More than it used to.
Like, could you sneeze?
But not a lot more.
Like what happens if you sneeze really hard? Or what happens if you see like a foxy lady walk down the street? Do your eyes just pop out your head now?
Yeah.
Well, the one pops out faster.
Yeah.
Just a little faster because it's a loose.
And then your tongue.
Only if he says awooga.
Yeah. Then your tongue rolls out like a carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Our eyes are important.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, Amy, gonna take a stand?
That's why I had them poke me in it.
know.
So I for the preservation of it.
I just think that if somebody said, "Hey, we have to do this," I would be like, "Okay, so where are you going to put me to sleep?" Because I can't.
You probably could request something like that.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what you can stand.
Yeah.
What your body can go through.
You probably could have got like a sedative, and then they could have poked you in the eye before you even realized it happened.
Like they do for kids, where they're like,
"We come up and surprise you."
"Hey, silly, yeah, isn't this fun? Poke done. Oh, you didn't even know what happened."
The moment that would get you, Amy, I think, is when they want to put the Clockwork Orange device on your face, and they say, "Now we're just putting this on to hold your eyelid open. It's no big deal." Because I bet everyone freaks out when they see this thing. It's not even. It's not a big deal.
Amy, how are you with eye drops? Or do you like Rachel Green, where somebody has to hold you down? And
No, when I learned the trick to eye drops, it's easy.
What's the trick?
You just put them in the corner, and then kind of blink them in.
See, that never really like
always works.
I'm
for
paranoid
me.
about touching because you're not supposed to touch your eye with that nozzle because of the risk of infection.
I'm not doing.
Well, I don't think you have to.
You're able to get it in there.
Just drop them into the corner. There's like a natural little bowl there. You use gravity.
Yeah, I still miss.
God,
I just go.
It takes me 5 or 6 to get 2 in.
I just go straight on.
Yeah,
I can't do straight on.
Amy, have you seen that video, that viral video of that lady that had like 27 contacts in her eyeball?
27 contacts in her eye.
And the eye doctor just kept pulling them out and pulling them out and pulling them. It was like a long string of contacts.
Gross. That's got to be like a contact wearer's urban legend nightmare because
it's gross.
I've had the worry like where I'm like, did I get the contact out or not? Do I have 2 in? What's happening?
That's what you can see twice as well.
I imagine the doctor just pulling those contacts, like a magician's scarf, and then on the very end he'd pull out.
That's
like
what it was, basically.
set of glasses,
and the contacts. When the eye doctor was pulling the contacts out, they were all green.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was real gross.
Like I can watch Dr. Pimple Popper all day long, but I don't know that I could watch.
You don't watch Dr. Eyeball Popper?
The eye popper.
Dr. Eyeball Poker.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what
boy.
else you don't want to watch? It's Cats. We watch Cats, Kelley.
I already knew that, but I'm glad you confirmed it.
Listen, I knew it was bad, and thank God we watched it with riff tracks.
Thank God. Okay, now I would watch it with riff tracks.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
The riff tracks definitely is why I wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
Had there not been a riff tracks, I don't think I would ever have seen it.
Yeah, here's the
Was
thing.
the riff
It's not
tracks
like-
hilarious?
Yes.
Yes, it was. It's always hilarious, but it's not like one of those movies that is so bad it's good.
No.
It's just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty shameful mess.
I can't believe that happened. Like, I think I kept screaming, like, there are still homeless people on this planet.
You were thinking of, what could have done.
Because they made this.
You're like Chandler with the watch and the ring and everything at the end.
I would have rather seen buttholes because what the smooth was weird. It was all weird. So deeply weird.
Speaking of riff tracks, another thing we did, Amy and I had bought, like, I had a coupon and I got like a really good deal on 3 of the riff tracks in the app thing where it syncs up over your phone. One of the ones I bought, I thought was the new Jurassic World movie because I was like, that's another movie I don't think I would bother watching without that extra piece of motivation, to have a laugh with it. And I downloaded what I thought was the right riff tracks, and we
were halfway through the movie when we realized, no, it's the one from a few years ago, and we've already seen that.
We've seen it and had no memory at all.
I blocked it out.
Until we're in.
That's how forgettable those movies are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I loved the first Jurassic World movie.
I thought that was a good one.
Second one.
The second one?
Oh, I haven't seen any of the others.
I hate it, and I remember hating it. And I still hate it.
Because of the volcano that took out
it's depressing.
The whole island of dinosaurs.
It's sad,
yeah.
But also, it does, this time through, I was like, oh, this is a pretty great moment. And then we about an hour in, and we realized it was the one we saw in the theater. I'm like, that had a few decent moments, and the rest was just like awful.
But are we going to watch the third one?
I want to see.
I
want to see it once they have a riff tracks for it. I'll watch it, but they don't have.
But make sure you can watch the right. Make sure you watch the right one.
I'm going to be very careful in the future. Although I gotta say, watching it with the riff tracks, I didn't mind watching it a second time because I think I laughed so hard I almost pissed my pants a couple times.
Can we go back to what you said? I feel like I spaced out a second. What did you say about smooth? Do they not have anuses or something?
No, the cats have nothing. It's just smooth.
Can we go
down
back
there.
to the cat genitals?
Like they have butts, but like it's the hint of cheeks with nothing in between or underneath.
Just a hint of cheeks.
And ooh, God, look at Idris Elba. That was just weird. The uncanny valley, the whole psychological horror of it.
Yeah.
Give them buttholes. They deserve buttholes. That would help.
That would be like, I bet if you play that with Dark Side of the Moon, it becomes a David Lynchian horror. Like a
Cronenberg type thing.
Yeah.
Andy was trying to okay, well, the stage show, this is, why, but it doesn't matter.
It's a bad stage show,
it's
too.
It's a bad story.
I get the setup it being like vignettes of individual cats, but there is no story, which
you need a story. You need something to care about. You need something to care about.
But clearly there are people out there that love cats just as it is, so I'm not going to shit on if you like that format.
You can't love this movie. Nobody could.
I don't know that anybody loves this movie, but I know people who love the stage play, and I can get if you're into seeing these performances live and each one is a standalone thing almost. But man,
I
what
understand,
a mess of a story.
Yeah, I don't want to shit on yuck anybody's yum, but what the fuck is a jellicle?
Yeah.
but Kelley, Andy, Freddy, no one can answer this, but maybe you can try. Why are they cats if the story and the characters and all of it has nothing to do with cats?
Well, they play with mice at one point. That's a cat thing.
Okay. So they play with mice and they drink milk.
Dame Judy Bench. James Park Bench. Dame. God damn it.
They have those pointy ears.
But all their motivations, who they are.
Sleeps in a basket.
They're magicians and singers and they wear coats and some of them are naked. But
Ian McKellen drinks milk out of a bowl.
What do you know about cats?
No.
It has nothing to do with cats.
It could be called humans, and they just have the same attributes and personalities.
I hate James Corden. I've realized.
Yeah,
too.
me too.
I didn't. I used to. Actually,
I got nothing for that dude.
He was on a sitcom back in the day where he thought he was a spy, and it was okay. It was kind of cute. He was kind of he was playing kind of what you expect, the chubby sidekick, Jack Blackish type of character. The man child kind of character. With the guy who played Jim in the original Office, I think was his co-star on that show.
Martin Freeman?
No, not. I'm sorry, not. No, I'm thinking of. It's the guy who was in Ghosts that played the poet. I thought he played not Martin Freeman.
No,
I think he was involved with the original British
anyway.
Office, but I get everything mixed up. regardless, what a fucking monster this guy's turned out to be, man. Carpool karaoke, and he's rude to wait staffs, and he was this awful cat, and he was in Into the Woods and Out of the Woods.
Into the Woods.
Oh, God.
So you gave him a chance until you saw this movie. Then you're like, fuck him.
This was the straw that broke the camel's back, was when he sidled up and just was so fucking happy to be in Cats, and it made it worse for me somehow. Where
how dare he be happy to be in a production?
I feel like he was like, here comes that Academy Award.
Academy?
I just feel like he's like, I've become Albert Finney, Eater of Worlds. And I'm like, you're not Albert Finney. Sit down.
What a hot take you're having about James Corden being annoying.
Oh my Christ!
I've come to late on this, I think. Right?
He's like he's like the new Ellen.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay, Freddie, because I didn't even know. I heard people. I encounter him so infrequently.
Right. Same.
That I didn't know, and I don't see anyone.
I'll tell you
outside of you guys. So like. Yeah, I didn't know.
At the end of every late show, Stephen Colbert says, "Stick around for James." And you know what? I've never stuck around for James. I've never.
No, the internet had a hate on for him for a while.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Actually, I feel like kind of like affirmed. Blue is blue.
You're not going to be a Corden contrarian, and it's like, I think he's awesome.
I might change my mind if he does something awesome.
That's doubtful.
I
wonder what that would be.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just single out James Corden, because Rebel Wilson was all equally as awful.
No, everybody was terrible. The only person who didn't annoy me was Taylor Swift and Jennifer Hudson. But I love her.
No, she was bad in this movie too.
You're bad in this movie.
I don't know.
I was in the movie. Oh my gosh!
I know.
You think I would remember that? And no butthole.
Why did they have human hands, but the rest of them was furry?
So long.
Why did some people not have furry faces, but others did? Why did they make Surrey and McKellen do that with the milk? Lap it up with his tongue.
He also hissed like a cat too. Don't forget that.
It's an offensive movie.
Dame Judy Dench.
Bench.
Judy Park Bench. She addressed the audience at the end, I think. I was kind of out of it by that point.
She was like a Lars von Trier movie.
She was looking right at us at one point. I was like, no.
It was goddamn weird. It was not pleasant. Like in any way. Like, I mean, the riff tracks was fun, but it was one of those times where the riff track, it was almost like
it almost didn't make up for it.
Yeah. You know, they say you bond with someone when you go through like a trauma together. Like that's why it's worth watching with the riff tracks, because those guys are so suffering through this too, that like it almost was like when they watched Manos Hands of Fate on the old MST3K, where it was a movie. So it's not that it's so bad it's good, but it's so bad it's a challenge.
No, it's like this was Cats. The movie was genuinely unnerving.
Yeah,
like it was genuinely creepy and nightmarish.
Yeah,
that's a way to put it. Like there's some redeeming things about Manos, and I give them a pass because I was made for $5. And how much was Cats? How much was Cats made for, Amy? Like 100, 200 million?
House.
It did feel like an alternate
so
reality.
Many people.
$5.
But I had a Cat's point that was going to lead off of that, Andy, and it went away. I'll stop.
Sorry.
I hated it so much.
Which I think that's just the truth.
I think you're
of Cats.
supposed to.
I think I haven't met a person yet that was like, you know what, misunderstood. The movie's just misunderstood. And
just give it time.
I bet if you comb through your social media lists, you could probably weed out through my prediction, my guesstimate, 3 at least.
Yeah.
People who have that opinion. But you have to find them.
His mom.
But they're in there.
You know, I did have
I didn't know you were friends with his mom.
And Cat Stevens.
And Cat Stevens. I was thinking when I was watching it, though, it is nice. I think everybody's pretty much on the same page. This is an abomination, this movie. Yes. And it's nice that we can still have those moments that span all of our divisions.
No, I feel like Marjorie Taylor Greene really likes this movie.
Maybe.
Well, she's not a real person.
I think her and Lauren Boebert just watch it every night.
Neither of them are real people.
We watched Old, too. We had riff tracks for Old, which I feel like I forced Amy to watch Old.
You did.
And a movie I'd seen in the theater, and actually I like it, but
it was okay.
It is also a super mess, like in a weird way where it's like Shyamalan's like, I'm going to make a Twilight Zone episode, and it's going to be a full-length feature film, but I'm not going to update the way people behave, even though they have, you know what I'm saying? Like they're still going to act like it's the 60s, except, and then there's a rapper in it named Midsize Sedan,
which is,
which I love that.
Do you remember when Uncle Stevie Pants was naming boy bands in that first Mr. Mercedes?
Oh yeah.
And you're like, okay, you need to sit down.
Yeah.
And M. Night Shyamalan creating a character called Midsize Sedan.
Midsize Sedan.
I think that is a great. I wish there was a rapper named Midsize Sedan.
There is in the world of Old. In the universe.
That's a pretty great name. I mean, it's ridiculous, but like now I want it to be real.
I don't doubt for a minute that this is tied into like Unbreakable and Glass and Split in his imagination.
Unbreakable.
Do you think it's sort of dated? We watched a couple of movies. We watched Glass Onion.
You said Old was dated?
Yeah. So
it was old.
That's
old.
What I was saying. It plays like an old Twilight Zone episode.
I'm going to. Can I spoil Old?
Well, I think
spoil it for me.
People have had time to watch it, right? It's been out for how long now?
Well, it's not like a.
It's an old movie.
Let me see what I can do here. We watched Glass Onion, which is set in the midst of the pandemic, like summer 2020, and it's very much present and talked about, and everybody's wearing masks at the beginning and blah 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 blah. And I was like, I really wish they just had not even like. I'm not ready for pandemic movies, or I'm done with them. Like maybe they were okay during the actual pandemic, but now that we're pretending it's not, Corona doesn't exist anymore, I don't want it. So that kind of.
I'm sorry. What doesn't exist?
Exactly. The Rona.
Did that interfere with your
I don't know what that
enjoyment?
is.
It's sort of like
because it was important to the plot
of Glass Onion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I'm saying also, but I feel like it dates the movie in some way now. So then I'm thinking about Old, which also did not have a pandemic, but the discussion about medical testing and trials.
Yeah. Which
I felt Glass Onion.
That's kind of timeless.
That Funyun Onion.
We're all more aware of how that works now.
I think when you watch this movie,
I just felt like it dated it.
I think it's worth watching, even if you're not an. I think it's an interesting experiment that you would still trust a contemporary audience with having characters have these giant Batman leaps of logic exposition moments because they're required. You know how, and that's why it reminds me so much of a lot of the old Twilight Zones. There was always a character who just somehow was like, "Wait a minute, this is just like blank that happened at so and so or whatever," and that's the connection moment. But you had to do that because you only had 20 minutes to tell a story,
right?
Where he has this whole movie, but he still does that to make to move the story along. It's done through dialogue exposition at so many points. It's people just don't do it anymore. So the movie plays,
it's just not done.
It's not done anymore. The movie plays silly, even sillier. Because it's kind of silly to begin with, the concept.
Silly,
it's a Shyamalan movie. It's inherently silly.
It is very silly.
I enjoyed it so much more.
I think that's what Shyamalan means in Indian. Hindi.
But it's so much, for me, it was so much better than Glass. It was better than, I enjoyed it so much more than even Split, which people raved about. And when I saw Split, I was like, it's okay. It's pretty good.
Split.
McAvoy's really great. But
I didn't jive with Split. I thought there was some good acting, but I just didn't think it held together for me.
Right. And like at least old presented interesting ideas, even if it was like clumsily, like I said, everything is, it's literally telling the audience at each step, okay, here's the deal. We're just going to have a character who kind of understands what's going on. They're going to throw out a line of dialogue so we can get past this. But at least it had an idea, you know?
The only thing I remember from that movie is that we saw it in the theater and we had to move seats because of the chatty Cathy's behind us.
Man, there's a real theme.
Yeah. Going to the movies and listening to people talk.
Yeah. Ironically, it was old people talking behind us at old.
They weren't old when they got there, though. That's the magical part.
What?
I just love it presents this idea of like these little kids growing up literally so fast, but also is like it's more interesting if their brains change too. So they're going to be, their personalities are going to be slightly different. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they were kind of, I think he was trying to show like part of your intellect develops biologically and part of it is nature versus nurture type of stuff.
Yeah.
So he was trying to tackle these huge ideas, but he was trying to do like 5 sets of huge ideas. It was insane. It's like an insane amount of cramming. It's like if you're real fucking stoned with a friend at 3 a.m. and you're like, dude, I have this fucking idea.
I hope that never happens to me again.
You hope that never happens to you again.
Yeah, I don't want to be up with people at 3 in the morning doing anything. That sounds terrible.
But the only reason you're still up is because the idea is so good. And you keep going deeper, and then you never get to that point where you actually go back and soberly look at the idea, but you immediately go into production and make a movie.
Are you saying M. Night Shyamalan is constantly high?
I don't think he is, but I think he thinks like a high person thinks. And he doesn't like say, I have to make this more believable at any point. Which I kind of respect that in a lot of ways. Where I'm like, yeah, fuck it. If you're going to, it makes me want to go back and watch Lady in the Water because I hated that movie so much. But now I'm kind of like, maybe he's just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to make a weird movie. It's my movie. Mine. I appreciate his selfishness.
So now he's an old, like, Scrooge-ish miser.
I think he's a madman. Like,
Mine.
Like,
they keep giving him money. I mean, he must be making money because they keep giving it to him.
Yeah, I mean, his movie was the #1 movie in the country this weekend.
Oh, yeah, Knock at the Cabin. Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to see that.
I heard the book's great.
You're probably going to force me to watch it.
I mean, I'm an
When Riff Tracks comes,
Yes, Riff Tracks.
when the Riff Tracks comes out, you're going to watch it.
You gotta love Dave Bautista.
Visitation brought me back.
Have you seen the?
The Visit was great. I thought he was back.
Good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, he's not back.
He's back periodically. He comes and goes.
Yeah, he checked in, and that was cool.
Yeah.
Watch the Happening Riff Tracks, Freddie. That's really good.
I have. I love that one because that's another one of his movies that I really aggressively like.
Yeah, that's a
but it's funny again. It's another one where he was trying to make these big statements, but like there's no room for like the naysayer in there. Like there's no naysayer character that can be like, or it's this. There's no
Scully to all
no
the Mulders.
Scully. Everyone's a Mulder.
Everyone.
Mulders.
Moldering.
But if you haven't watched Servant, it's on. I think this is their final season, and that is an interesting, strange show too. There's nothing like it. It's not, the characters are not super relatable because one of them's a celebrity chef and the other one's like a newscaster. And like there's no entry point for just a regular person to come into this show. It's like seeing weird rich people deal with an even weirder problem.
Yeah.
Which again takes balls. He's just like, fuck it. My characters are going to be weird to begin with and their problems are going to be even weirder. And I'm just going to keep throwing shit in there until it's almost like Ryan Murphy, but like less,
ridiculous. No,
it's same amount of ridiculous. It's more like a folklore-y. If Ryan Murphy was more into the folklore of everything, if that makes any sense at all.
Good.
Instead of it being about these fun characters
yes.
fighting with each other all the time, it's more about modern people interacting with like old ideas and old science and old gods and stuff like that.
Old
again.
Freddy's old, and now he has to schedule his colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literal bummer, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be okay, man. It's good. You'll feel great afterwards.
Would you rather
Can't wait.
get a colonoscopy or have a needle stuck into your eye?
Colonoscopy.
Oh, here's the thing.
You've had both, Kelley, so
Yeah,
you can
you tell me, Kelley.
you can tell us.
Colonoscopy has a whole rigmarole that you have to deal with.
True.
Like a whole fucking day's worth of nonsense with your with your shitting and your water diarrhea and then you got to go and then they put you under, and I don't love that. And then I mean, I love it in this case because I don't feel the tube poking around in my belly.
Yep.
But like but you know, it's an easy. Once you get there and they get you on the gurney and they stick the needle in you, well, it's easy. It's just like you wake up, you're like, oh, it's over. But the needle is really. I take the needle because it's just like boop,
Overdone.
And it didn't feel like a needle. It just felt like a poke.
So
Okay.
You ever get one of the dogs ever just like smack you in the eye for a second?
All the time.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like that, but like a little more localized.
So
And very brief.
you had they took like samples when you had your colonoscopy. Is it okay that we talk about them clipping
What do you
bits of your pooper out? Did they do that? Did they find anything that they were like, we're
I
going to
think
keep
they just
this?
look. And
Or
if
they
they
just
say
look
polyps,
For like, yeah, they don't look for the poop.
I was going to
What's
say,
the question?
They look
What's
at
the
the colon.
question?
I feel like everybody I've talked to who's had a colonoscopy has had like something like a polyp that they've had to have taken. As part of it.
What was your question?
My question is, did they cut anything like where you were wake up and you're like, oh, I cut something?
no, I've been with
Well,
people who've had that done.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they did. They cut out 2 polyps.
There was no
and,
feeling. There was no concern.
Nothing
about,
at all.
No.
you don't notice it.
You don't
I
even
mean,
know,
it doesn't
huh?
feel.
No.
Yeah.
Were you
Don't feel
worried that your butt would hurt?
I didn't know. It's just interesting. You know what I mean? Like I didn't expect. I had a liver biopsy once, and I didn't expect that to be so. That was actually very painful, and I didn't expect.
Well,
that.
that's a biopsy, and that's where they stick a giant needle in your body and yank
Yeah.
out a piece of tissue.
Yeah.
That's
This is even more easy peasy, I guess, huh?
Aww.
it's just a very sharp little it's just like a zip, and they're just cutting the polyps. They're not really cutting you.
You're gonna. Oh,
They're gonna cut Paul's
You're
lips.
gonna be just fine.
Poor Paul.
That's really no big.
Cool. I mean, like I'm doing the same thing. Me and Kelley are doing the doctor shuffle right now.
Mm-hmm.
We like going around and
Seeing doctors.
seeing doctors. I'm hoping to find one to marry to replace my mother.
It's like a
Rolling it.
scavenger hunt. I thought of it.
You gotta.
Oh, you found it. You found the word you're looking for.
I did.
The scavenger hunt.
It still works.
They want me to get a polyp.
Me, I prefer not to go to the doctor, so I don't have to worry about my health.
You know,
Well,
that's
there you-
funny how that works.
We are all in our 40s now.
Ignorance is
Time,
bliss.
dude.
It's like, as far as I know, I'm perfectly healthy.
You have to
son
at
of a
least go
bitch.
get the colonoscopy in you got
Couple
2
years.
years, dude. Start getting that butthole
Well,
ready.
You'll get the colonoscopy. It goes
Should've
up
said-
in your butt. You're gonna get the
I
colonoscopy.
gotta-
They shake you all up.
I
Maybe
gotta,
should we set up a reminder on our phones, like
Yes,
when
in
the
2
time
years.
comes,
Yeah,
we
we'll
have a
go
little
together.
we have a little. We can like hold hands like right next to each other.
do they do couples colonoscopies?
They probably
It's like
do
It's like a couples
actually.
massage.
Do women start colonoscopies
Fuck
at
if I know.
45?
Hey, I'm still getting over the goddamn mammogram.
Yes.
So
You're saying yes, Kelley, they do?
he's saying yes to the
So
dress.
it's the same for men and women, 45. Time for the camera.
Welcome to Night of the Living. Have you gone to the doctor lately?
Oh, Friday. When you go, you get your colonoscopy. Ask if you can get like a copy of the video.
Oh, I'm gonna turn it into a music video.
Remember when we all had to watch Katie Couric get a colonoscopy live on the Today Show? Was that just me?
I didn't do that.
That was after her husband died, wasn't it?
Yeah, he died.
He died.
You didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't tell you that you didn't have to. Like they
No.
they let us know right beforehand. They're like, hey. This is not mandatory, by the way. Well, shit, you must have been in the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
Is the Today Show doing the story of Jonah and the whale again?
Have you seen the Riff Tracks version of that? It's hilarious.
Of Katie Couric's colonoscopy. I would love that. I feel like Mary Jo Pell would have to do that one, though.
I mean, really.
To be fair.
Patreon.com/NOTLP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got all kinds of bonus stuff up there that you get when you pay for it. It's pretty simple.
Boehm.
Do you guys want to talk about it? Kelley, you want to tell them? You want to tell the people?
Your shameful secret.
Well, I have the merch is all designed. It's all uploaded. It's all up in there. Ooh. It's all squirming around and excited
like a colonoscopy
to get into your hands for you to touch and feel and do with as you please.
Kiss and taste.
Anything you want in the privacy of your home.
And we're not sure 100% like if for some reason like this is like a new loyalty program where for some reason you find that like you're not automatically getting the new set of merch. I think you just have to go back through the hoop again of signing up for this loyalty program. But I think Patreon was supposed to be, don't quote me on this, but I think they were supposed to be making it where it's a little easier than that.
I won't quote you on that.
So patrons, check your patronage. Make sure that you're where you need to be to get the things because Kelley made some beautiful new stuff.
But we have things and it's new. It's all new and it's all slightly different.
I'd say it's very different.
There's a Topicana design.
A Topicana tote. Put your orange juice in.
Yep. Sport on in.
Where your newspapers.
Patreon.com/NOTLP.
Mm-hmm. Plus, you get the shows.
And all the shows. We got Topicana over there, of course. We got Origins. And occasional other things sprinkled throughout. You need to do
sometimes Night of the Comic.
Yeah.
You need to do a Freddy versus Jason.
We're due for a Freddy versus Jason. We're about to
sometimes High Five.
We're going to do Freddy's Dead and
Jason Lives. Wouldn't it have been great if those two coincided?
That would have been. I wish we had more forethought, maybe.
Your co-host on Freddy vs. Jason.
It's his birthday today.
Jason Cretton. It's his birthday.
Happy birthday.
What a lovely man he is.
He is a lovely man.
Yeah.
Yesterday was our friend Branan's birthday.
That's right.
Happy birthday, Branan. Happy birthday.
Branan.
Emily had a birthday too.
Emily's birthday was on the 1st. Mine was on the 31st. And just all the coolest people are born right now.
I have new music out.
They were all born.
They were all born.
Yes, sure. Freddie has new music out.
That was since the last show. Your song.
Yeah, my song came out.
Yeah, R.I.P. Search anywhere you get your streaming music.
Search Freddie Morris.
And
sounds great.
R.I.P. Thank you.
Love it.
He wrote this song.
It's on Spotify. Go like it.
Sounds like a memorial song.
It is. It's a memorial to Amy.
I know, but
Twitter.
It's a memorial to Twitter and my feelings.
Yeah, but when you dedicate it to Amy, like rest in peace, like, oh my God, what happened to Amy?
They killed her. Isn't that apparent?
I'm dead. This is
and
from
then
beyond the grave.
And then you wrote a song about it and profiting off of it.
Yeah. And I had Kelly's dogs play didgeridoo on it. They're really good.
And I didn't sign a consent form for that, and I did not receive any compensation.
No royalties for him. They're dogs. They're like, but we get royalties. I'm like, no, you don't get royalties.
You can give them a treat.
Besides, I don't get royalties.
That's what they did. They got treats, and anyway,
I give them a scratch.
It'll be in litigation for years. So while it is, we can still keep doing the show.
Your dogs got Barry Gordied. Mm-hmm. They sold their songs for like a $1 biscuit.
Tragic.
Do we want to move on to the news since we've just been chit-chatting for almost 45 minutes?
Is there news to move on to?
We got enough news to close this video out. We got two pieces.
Two newses.
That I hunted up.
Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Remember, human beings are their food.
Oh, I wish this website had dark would bow to my dark theme. But why are you not dark theme? Anyway, this is gonna tickle you.
Yeah.
You know, we got Scream. Is it also just called Scream? Is that just going to be how it is from now on? They're just going to call it Scream every single time?
Or is
it's
it officially Scream 6? I don't know.
That's a good question. I mean, all the graphics are, they turn the M into the Roman numeral 6.
Oh, yeah.
So it's stylized.
For fuck's sake. All right. Well, in light of that news.
Yes.
You ready?
I'm born that way.
J. Love Hewitt and Freddie the Prince, Mr. Sarah Michelle Gellar, also known as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Prince Jr.
What?
Are both returning for a new I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Did anybody watch the TV series?
No.
I have not either.
So, I didn't watch the movie.
You never saw the original?
You've never seen I Know What You Did Last Summer?
No. But
I wonder if you'd like it, because you don't like slashers.
No, I probably wouldn't.
Did you read the book, Lois Duncan?
No.
I feel like you're very closed off to the idea of watching it.
I'm not. I'd watch it, but
your body
I don't.
Language says different.
I'd watch it, but like,
look me in the eye.
Would you skip?
I'd watch.
It's that thing.
Part of the reason I wouldn't look Amy in the eye is because I'm desperately trying to read.
It's not in dark mode. It's that thing where Freddie recommends things to us all the time. It's like, yeah, I'll watch it.
Sure. I would recommend it. I Know What You Did Last Summer, though. Ironically,
I loved it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
It was good.
I would watch.
There's no Scream, but nothing is Scream.
True.
But like, I don't wanna. But I would.
Okay. She's got Tiggle bitties, and they are prominently displayed.
Oh, J-Loves,
and she's very wet.
Right.
They put her in white t-shirts.
She's
great.
On the street and goes, "What do you want from me?" Is that right?
Yeah. What do you want from us? Or,
she's saying, "What are you waiting for?"
Or what do you want from her? Right. She spins around in a circle, and they do like a crane shot of her spinning in the rain.
Oh yeah, you had.
I think it was in the rain.
Wasn't it rain?
Yeah, it was in front of the school, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was outside on a sunny day.
Did I add the rain?
You did, because you're a pervert.
I made it more dramatic.
I mean, at one point
for perverted reasons.
Yeah, she was soaked at one point, but I don't think she was screaming.
Yeah.
You only get soaked or screaming. It's in her contract.
All right. Let me. God damn this news source. They always dial shit back. This is like some clickbait nonsense. Horror clickbait.
Don't because be mad. You fell for it, so don't.
No,
be
I know.
yelling at it.
But look at this now. It's like now, like the thing is like, whoa, guess who's coming back? And then it's like, this is an early development, and they are in talks.
Well, they're talking.
They're just talking, so they're not boyfriend, girlfriend yet. Well, they saw how
much money Scream 5 and 6 are making, or projected to make.
I'm just saying they made it sound like this shit was almost out the door.
Right.
Well, it could be the way they crank these movies out. That's pretty fast. Pretty fast now.
That was some just bad headlining.
Yes.
Are they like, no, somebody probably was just like, yeah, that sounds like fun. Somebody ran her in the grocery store. You know what'd be great? Another I Know What You Did Last Summer movie.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Would be great.
You're right. Let me know. Let me know if something like that happens.
Have your people get in touch with my people.
We should totally get together over lunch to talk about that soon.
Speaking of Scream, though, I do want to say Sick, which is a Peacock movie written by Kevin Williamson. If you like Scream, like the old Scream, it is so much closer to the OG Scream than Scream 5 was.
Og Scream.
You like Scream? Do you like COVID? It's Scream with COVID.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a COVID Scream.
Yeah. It's Scrovid. Let's call it Scrovid.
But it's a good time.
I just don't know if I'm
Amy, are you ready for it? I know you said you were
fragile. It's like
too early for pandemic movies.
Like, I'll be okay to watch them. It's not like 9/11 where it's like, I'm not going to watch your fucking movies. I'm not 9/11. You can't make me relive that. So
this is mostly
I'll be okay
just an excuse to push the story.
Yeah.
Kevin Williamson was like, you know what I could do again? I could write the 5th version of the slasher movie I've been writing for different directors. And he did it. He's like, and I could put a sprinkle of COVID on it.
Well, how much can you do with slashers anyway?
I honestly, it's for me, this movie, I felt like Sick really didn't lose sight of the fact that you're there to watch somebody be terrorized and stalked and kind of get your heart rate up and keep it super simple. And it was super simple. It was a lot like Hush, that movie Hush that Mike Flanagan did.
Yeah, liked it.
Yeah. Not as good as Hush.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Pamela Adlon's daughter is in it, so we have a backup Bobby Hill in case anything happens to Pamela Adlon, because she sounds just like her.
Yep.
It's important to have a backup Bobby Hill.
She's a Nepo baby now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Nepo babies that were running wild through Hollywood.
Rampant.
She's good, though.
The Monster Tale is news, and it's Andy Serkis. You know what I'm saying? Andy Serkis.
Heard of him?
He's teaming up. Well, so it probably means that somebody like made a suggestion at one point to someone else, as we've learned. But anyway, supposedly Andy Serkis is teaming up with someone to develop Jason Kim's creature feature Monster Tale. And let's see what that means. The Monster Tale. Andy Serkis developing creature feature. The Monster Tale.
Monster Tale.
Well, let me just let you, before I stop saying Monster Tale, I need you to understand the Monster Tale is directed by Jason Kim and also written by, who is behind the South Korean possession horror, The Divine Fury.
I've never seen that.
I mean, either, but it sounds good. Andy Serkis, South Korean creature feature.
Are we going to get a creature? Because I think we don't have enough. Nobody's really making them anymore.
Well, not on TV they are.
True. I was scrolling Reddit the other day, and the horror subreddit pops by, and somebody's like, there aren't any monster movies. Nobody's making monster movies. And I'm like, you know what? They aren't.
I haven't watched The Last of Us, but my understanding is there's a big monster in that.
It's zombies, isn't it?
I have no idea. I never played the game.
It is zombies.
It's zombies? There's some sort of
zombies.
Creature with a big ugly head, too.
I don't know. Maybe it's some special kind of zombie.
It's a boss level.
Your mom's a zombie. You want to be a zombie.
That's a deep cut for you guys.
Ken Forey. You got a zombie.
It's a great mail order zombie. Great company.
The shipping is unparalleled.
Great company.
I love that when Tony Todd signed that thing for us the first time we ever had him on, he was like, Radio Free Europe.
Uh-huh.
That made me laugh.
Nobody knew what a podcast was back in 2006.
Yeah.
Or 7 or 8 or 9, whenever that was.
Anyway, that's all the news.
Celebrities are funny.
Yeah.
Their lives are
Thank you, Kelley. Thank you, Kelley, for telling us about Monster Tale.
You're welcome.
So when is Monster Tale coming out? That's like, I want to say Monster Tale as much as you do.
Monster Tale is currently being developed by Andy Serkis. So I don't know when Monster Tale is going to come out.
Bang Bus presents.
I believe the article mentions that some of the funding has come from Brazzers and Bang Bros, which own Bang Bus.
Oh, they went corporate.
You know, the Bang Bros have a whole thing, I think.
They're like the Property Brothers.
They're the Property Brothers. That
well, I don't think the Bang Brothers are actually brothers, are they?
Well, judging from porn,
I don't know. I don't know them.
Everyone's related, and somebody's always in trouble for something.
I don't want to see brothers in porn. That's gross.
Yeah.
They're this train derailed,
but they're Bang Brothers.
Up in Ohio somewhere.
The show remind you of it?
Far away from where we are. Near Pittsburgh, I guess, shares a Pennsylvania border. I don't know where this train derailed.
Margot.
In Ohio. But it's really fucking scary because it was had
Was it carrying something or something?
A lot of deadly
dangerous?
chemicals. Yes. So they've had to.
Great.
They've had to evacuate a mile-wide radius because it could explode at any minute. And they're trying to safely vent the chemical into the air right now. That is also extremely cancerous.
I think if I lived right on the other side of the mile perimeter line, I'd be like, I'm also going to
go another one.
What if this is an elaborate album drop where somebody's going to walk out of the wreckage like
Beyonce?
Well, I don't know that Beyonce would even need that level.
It's
of spectacle.
Rihanna.
It'll be
lead up to the fucking Super Bowl.
Still too big. You got to think smaller. Somebody like the ICP who would be like, this poisonous train derailed. How does that work? And then they step out of the explosion and just start rapping.
Yeah, man.
People are like, oh, shit, we thought we were going to die.
That would be so preferable to what happened for real.
The only reason I brought up this story because I just think it's kind of creepy. And, it's a very rural area. There's not a lot of people. It's just kind of this strange little pocket of Nowheresville, Ohio. And now I feel like there's going to be legends. There's going to be there's going to be cryptos coming out of that area because people are going to be like, these chemicals might have leached into the ground.
Well, there's your creatures, Amy.
Water.
Here you go.
You wanted creatures,
you make
now
the
you got
movie.
them.
Yeah. You make the movie.
A crypto legend could be cryptozoology legend could
Name
be
Strange Pockets. After what you said earlier.
Strange Pockets.
They called them Strange Pockets.
That could be the name of your investigator, Laurel Strange Pockets.
Is it hyphenated?
It's marsupial, but it's also man.
Marsupial man.
That'd be gross. So a person with just a giant pocket in their belly.
Agreed.
Is that where they pulled their badge out?
Duck-billed platygus. He was named Gus before he became Strange Pockets. Or no, Professor Strange. Who's our hero, Strange Pockets now? The story has shifted, guys. We need someone on a beach to understand what's happening. Explain it in a single line of dialogue. Then we need the other 8 characters to agree that that's clearly the only answer. So we can move forward. Strange Pockets.
Old.
Strange Pockets.
Which you gonna pick?
Well, we got anything else, guys?
No, man. I'm all out.
I'm all out of
I'm gonna
love.
get you. I'm gonna get you your origins on the morrow.
On the morrow.
Yep.
And we'll be recording a Topicana this week to post to Patreon, and we're just living that life.
That life.
We're living our as good as we can lives.
Our
La Vida
Irish
Loca.
garlic sausage.
You said it again, Andy.
Strange Pockets life.
Andy said it again.
Well, it is working because I'm really so curious about these goddamn sausages.
I knew
probably
you,
could buy them.
I'm serious.
I'm going to buy them tomorrow.
Yes, eat them.
So what kind of buns do you suggest I buy with these?
We used white hoagie rolls, Kroger brand. They were perfect.
We need to end this. I don't
and
think...
sauerkraut too, right?
Sauerkraut.
We bought
and mustard.
Frank's.
And I should grill them up on the pan in the stovetop, right?
Definitely cast iron, brown the fuck out of them, and then steam them in water. It actually says on the label exactly how to make them.
So can we be done with that discussion?
We've eaten them all, so I suppose we can.
Yeah, I'll give you guys an update next week on the
Please
show,
do.
and then
I'm telling you,
that could be our banter for next week.
Oh my
Kelly,
God!
you can eat these too.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah,
it's something we can all share.
we can all enjoy it, and all the meat eaters out there.
Is it time?
I love sausage.
It's a good one.
Is it time for me to say hi to the Beelzebubs?
It is.
Okay.
Please do.
Oh,
It
please
definitely
go.
is.
Alise, hello.
See you soon.
I'll see you soon, baby.
Alyssa, Branan and Emily.
Happy birthday.
Birthday.
Jeffel, Dustin, Iona Goodwin, Dr. Brian,
Dr. Brian.
Bill Chandler. I was going to try to do it for a really obnoxiously long time, and
He's
then
the
I was
one that
like,
called
don't.
Dr. Brian. He's the one that makes you feel all right.
Bill Farner,
Hey, Bill.
Blake,
Blake.
Blayne yogurt. Short ass jeans.
You know, you can get store brand yogurt for like 50 cents.
Paul.
Life hacks. Paul.
Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora.
Gamora, did you know at any point in time you could probably overpower me?
This is true. She's a big dog.
Especially now with my weak post-surgery arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Don't play too rough with her.
Mm-hmm.
Ernie.
Hey, Ernie. I hope things are well in Texas. Miss you. Hope to see you around again someday.
Dave Siebert.
Dave, there's no reason you shouldn't come to Horrorhound. You're local. I presume you're still local. We haven't talked in a long time.
And Monica.
Mm-hmm. Monica?
How'd we do?
Monica.
Would you give me an A+? Or an
I would give you I would grant you an A+ with an additional plus.
Thank you, sir.
I think you did great.
With a pat on the head.
Yeah, for sure.
Good work.
Nicely done, Amy. You did it.
We done
Good
did
night. And be happy.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to